Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, good
Greetings
afternoon.
from Ottawa.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon from Nigeria.
Ah, very good.
Yes, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, this is Abdul Kuram from Lahore, and it's so good evening from my side.
Right. Good evening.
Thank you.
So good morning, good
Hello,
afternoon, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon. This is Abdullah Sani from Kano, Nigeria.
Thank you very much. And so this is Gsfn Friday Idea Exchange. I'm Dr. Renuka Thakur, and our full name for network is Global Sustainable Futures Progress to Partnership Network. Few things to announce that this session is recorded it is live on YouTube. Please introduce yourself on the chat function. So that using chat function, please write down your name, email address, and whatever the activities, projects you might be doing. So please share with the network so they will receive it. Also, we will save the chat and distribute between the network so you can they can approach you in case they want. And yeah, there might be 1 or 2 photo sessions in between. So if you want to keep your cameras open, that is most welcome. Only thing that you keep yourself mute unless you take the floor. So here we go. So today I will have some updates for you, and then we are having Dr. Bernardo Javal Quinto from Chile, and he'll be speaking about his educational course where they focus on eradicating poverty and bringing social justice into education. Then we will have Laura Di Giovanni, who will be speaking about her activity and how she does research activities such as data collection and data analysis, evaluation, results, dissemination, and all that through some AI tool. Then we have invited Damini Thomas, who is a young entrepreneur, very impressive career he has, and he is developing carbon neutral initiatives. So he will be speaking from USA, and Laura is from, if I'm not wrong, she's from Italy, but she can correct me if I'm wrong. So
I'm Italian, but the company is based in the UK. Anyway, both.
All right. Okay. So she's from UK. And then we will close by another update, like upcoming opportunity, and that we are doing today. So now I will just remind you that there's a TED Talk or a small video about our vision and objectives. If you have not visited that, so please do feel free to listen to it and like it. And we are also on Google Map. And so if you can go and just Google us on map and put a review or like, that would be also very interesting to me. Okay, we from last month, we have thought about giving some recognition to whoever joins us, and we have come up a model of offering you to a chair, what you say, title of chair on the activities you do. So you don't have to do anything extra, but you can take an ownership and you can use Gsfn to increase or advance your projects. And everyone, like whoever until now has given me a feedback, feel that that is very important, and it is very inspiring. So we are going forward with that model. Up till now, we have got, so what does that mean? That each and everyone who has already submitted us the form, but whoever has not done before 20 January will have to resubmit a form. Few of them has submitted. We have already got 200 forms, and now we are preparing the batches. But we expect everyone to fill up the form. So I'm repeatedly reminding people, and if you don't know, or if you are able to forward to anyone, then do let us know. We will do it. And there is a team of people like our coordinators working on this. And I think I'm very, very thankful to them for their time. So this morning we had a recording, and they are helping with that. So we'll come over soon, and we'll soon be releasing, stepwise, 10 by 10 or 20, however they are ready, we will release them. And we will also publish them on social media and all other things. And you can also hold that yourself to publish yourself and to represent yourself. That is what I would say. So yeah, just a recap on the governance structure. We will put SDG number here. The form itself asks you all these things, and so we will be just taking the information from there. The SDG number, then we have name, then we have Gsfn, then we have 4 domains: research, education, enterprise, and community. And then we have levels. So it could be global, country level. So you at country level, you will have your country name. Then it can be city level, it can be regional level, it can be university level, it can be community, any type of community level, and so on. So for example, one of the person has tribal, like he's working with tribes, and so we have his here he is actually doing community work. So he's having Gsfn community tribe chair. So it would be interesting to see what you all do. And then we have 3 different areas also to distinguish yourself in that particular activity. And that is how we are going. We can also add your award if you have won that award last year. And we are like 176 people got award last year, and we are looking forward to disseminate maybe more than 500 awards this year at the end of the year. So that is what we are looking forward. And so now I will stop, and then I will give some updates on upcoming opportunities at the end of the session. And I will invite Dr. Barnardo Quinto to talk. Thank you very much for being here, Dr. Barnardo. Please introduce yourself, what you do and where you are up to, and then also talk about your activity. I will stop sharing. If you wish to share anything, you are most welcome to do that.
Thank you very much for this honor and this invitation. My name is Bernardo Quinto. I was born by mistake in the United States. I am a I am a descendant of Chilean parents and great grandparents from Spain. And so my father was a diplomat, so we traveled all over the world. I also, when I came back to Chile, I came back during the dictatorship of General Pinochet. And so I decided to leave the country and go back to the United States. I study economics at the University of Maryland, and then I did an MBA and a PhD. And I started working in the Africa region at the World Bank. And because of we lived in Egypt for 7 years due to my father's a post of duty in Cairo. And after that, when we came to Chile, I didn't like the regime, the military regime. So I went to the States and I started working at the World Bank. They put me immediately in the Africa region because I was in Egypt. So I when we were there, there was the only Chilean diplomat, so we have to travel all over Africa and the Middle East. So I had experience in the area, and after that, I was transferred to the private sector of the World Bank, which is the Finance International Corporation, IFC, and I work with Sir William Raby, and finally, I ended up meeting Professor Mohamed Yunus, the laureate Nobel Peace Prize, and I decided that he was being more efficient distributing, money to the poor people than the World Bank. So I left the bank and I worked with him, and I base everything that I've been doing with, his philosophy that he has taken 200 million people out of poverty, and that is what I have been doing. And today, I see that here we have people from different areas, and I was always thought that we need to get organized a little bit in terms of. I will share one slide in which we can all talk in those terms, so we don't start deviating our conversations. And since I have 15 minutes, I will go straight to what my concern is, which is social justice and eradication of poverty. And I will also add that in this social business school that we are creating, we include all the issues that had to do that they have to do with climate change, everything that has to do with the environment. And so I will be, I don't know if I can share one slide.
You
Let
can
me
share.
see. I can share, okay.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find it here. Give me just 1 second. Well, this is the web page of the Social Business School, and we have several universities in which they are adding up every day in Latin America, and we are going with more alliances in universities in France, in Spain, And in Mexico, we signed yesterday some letter of intentions from them. And but what we'd like to do, it's a meet with the goals that have the United Nations, and we work with the Yunus Center, led by Professor Yunus, and other institutions. These are the people that are working with us, and we try to get this project into effect in 2015, but I think social issues were not a real concern. So what happened after the pandemic? I think social issues really started taking notice, and we see the social problems all over the world, and saying that it's let me just try to go back to this slide that I want to share. I don't know if you can see that.
Sorry, we can't.
You
No.
cannot?
No.
Okay. Okay. Give me just 1 second. Maybe Dr. Ranuka, I will send it to you.
Yes, you can
Me-
send me. I can share then.
Please, I send it to you, and maybe you can share it to them. Give me just 1 second. Okay, you have it in your WhatsApp.
Okay, let me have a look. Yes, let me have a look. Share. Okay, let me share.
Okay, and unfortunately, this it's in Spanish because we have been working with most of the countries in Spanish language, but the question that we always have to ask is, where do we want to get? And this is equal, to everything. To a country, they want to be a developed nation. When you talk to a company, they want to be the best or the number one. And in the personal part, they have two choices. People, they want to be successful, or they only feel happy. That is their main goal. Be quiet and be happy, and that nobody bothers them, and nobody is taking care of that part of the society. That's why we have so much disruption in the people, because people, they don't feel that the governments or the companies uh, are fair with them, with the work that they do. And finally, what we have to do is very simple. We have to add value to everything that we do. If you want to a country to develop, you have to add value to get to the vision, which is where the start is. Because that's the only way that you will get there. And saying that we have to invest in value added is to invest in research, development, innovation and entrepreneurship. And so if we go and you see the A, B, C, D points, you see value added 1, value added 2, value added 3. And in the first point, we put there, you have to develop professors which are real stars of we are the ones that share all that we have learned to the students, and the only way to get that is to recompensate well professors. Many countries in Latin America, you know, a person that works in cleaning your garden makes more money than a professor in a university, even though you have a PhD or you have studied, invested a lot of time and money in yourself. Okay, then you have to also start, you know, investing in, you know, ecological issues and in, you know, research, development, education. Then you will be able to get I'm sorry, I think somebody has their microphone open and there's noise in the back. You can have a just distribution of income, then you can go and have justice, culture, respect, and then you can go to the next step to get tolerance. You can have tolerance and opportunities for everybody. So if we start, you know, talking in you know, in not in this frame of conversation, we have to concentrate that the most important thing is education. Finally, you know, if you want to be a developed nation. Latin American countries, they still do not have learned that, and it's not it can look like, you know, with that you are talking with the Fleetstone, you know, and down here, and it will sound maybe that we are really many years behind what you guys are doing in the developed nations. So that's, you know, why we started approaching with Dr. Renuka, because she has a large network, and we would like to invite people to start helping us, because this is not only happening in Chile, but it's also happening in most Latin American countries. And once that happens, unfortunately, you know, here in our countries, communism, it's you know, it's like being in the 60s. So we have the old communism that it's taking over Latin American countries, because the authorities, they do not understand that they have to give to get in return people to be satisfied, because life is too short. You cannot realize. We all, I think we have realized that, you know, we when we are 30, and in just in a click of your fingers, you are 60, and life is gone, and we really have to leave a legacy in what we have been doing in our life. So what we are proposing is to help, you know, the entire world, Africa mainly, Latin America also, because, you know, we people, they don't see, they lost faith, hope, and everything, because they don't see, you know, a development in their self in the future. So with this social business school, which teaches, you know, we developed with the MIT a program in which each university can adapt certain courses that can help people to learn to be their own bosses, because if you work for someone else, here you will always lose. And that is my invitation. I spoke to Dr. Bernuke. She said it's very interesting. And but besides only teaching social entrepreneurship, which means like this uh, this frame that of discussion, where do we want to get, people must understand that we have to invest in our country, we have to invest in our companies or in enterprises, and we have to invest in our people, in ourselves. Like, most of us, we have master degrees, we went to universities, and it's the same thing. If you want to go to from high school to go to the university, to then you get to master, and then you get your PhD, and then you feel satisfied with what you invested in yourself. Now we have a burden over our shoulders because we know what we need to do, but we cannot, if we do not get this idea cross borders, and we can collaborate in this huge effort that Dr. Bernuke and many of you have been doing for a long time. uh, uh, we are really losing ground all over the world. So I think I went over my 15 minutes, so I apologize. But it's very important that you know that we are trying to do something, and I will really ask you all that if you can talk to me or discuss how we are doing it. I will be more than welcome to work with Dr. Renuga, and we have to make a change and leave a better world for the future generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bernardo. Any questions?
Martin, you.
Martina,
Yes.
you are on mute.
Unmute. Hello,
Yes.
Bernardo. It's Martin Rose.
Hello.
Most of the Western groups are now looking at carbon zero, net zero strategies for 2090 and 2030, 50, 60, 70. Why isn't that included in your cycle diagram? It's really just as important as justice if there is no country to belong to. I mean, the Amazon, for example, is a tremendous oxygen reservoir. It manufactures oxygen all the time. So when anybody says we're going to cut trees down, it's really very serious. Why isn't that being done? That's just something that should be taught as part of your 4-cycle mechanism. Forests
Yes.
should be added to, they should be managed, I think.
Yes.
It's a very exciting philosophy.
Yes, I just put the name medio ambiente, which is environmental issues in
Yeah.
general. But we have included what you are talking about. It's
Good.
just that I just showed a general picture.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, good. Okay. You're at the top of the class.
We have another question from Frank.
Okay. Hello. Okay, thank you. You understand?
Yes, we can
You
hear
understand?
you. Yes, we can
Okay.
hear you, Frank.
Okay. Thank you for this meeting. I would like to know in a few words what is country did to eradicate the poverty. What your country did in order to reduce poverty. In a few
we have
words,
been we have been working, basically in Latin America right now, but with Professor Yunus, we have been working all over the world. And when I worked at International Finance Corporation, also worldwide, I understand very well the issues and the bureaucracy that are in each country. But one thing that we have in favor, as I mentioned to Dr. Renuque, she asked me, Bernardo, how could you be so crazy to run for president in Chile? And I said, well, because I know how to take a country from, to be a underdeveloped nation to a developed nation, because that's what they teach you at the World Bank. And but they're not doing it very efficiently. So that's why I started working with Professor Juno, because he went directly to the poor people. And so here we started with microfinances in Latin America, because there was no financing for enterprises, small enterprises, and people, the government did not give money to people to start their own business, and they didn't teach them any finances at all, so they cannot read even a balance sheet. And when you cannot read a balance sheet, you really, the accountant is going to tell you anything, and if you don't know to read the balance sheet, it's absolutely impossible to have a successful business.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I think there is one still. Yeah. Annapura, please speak.
Sorry.
Ampora.
Okay, sorry.
Ampora, unmute yourself.
For
You can
me,
speak in Spanish. You can speak in Spanish. Bernardo knows Spanish.
I speak Spanish and English and French, but my name is Amparo.
Amparo.
I don't listen.
Okay, sorry about it.
Yes, Elisa is good. For Dr. Bernardo, I think it's very, very important your explication and the information you transmit for the group. And I think it's very important the justice, let's say, Dr. Espiro, Dr. Martin, and the equity, the quality, the justice, and the empathy is very, very important. It's the base, the education is the base for development the different people, their skills, and the entrepreneurs, the leaders, is very, very important. The empathy, the respect, the communication, and the form, the leader, the justice is very important because the world needs the development, the skills, the values for, but in this moment the world is so good. I have a very injustice in the moment, and the corruption.
Exactly. That's why, we emphasize in every issue that we discuss is social justice. But the most important thing is because we do not take care of human capital. Without, if you don't take care of human capital, nothing works. So we have to focus in human capital because nothing works if you don't reinvest money in human capital, and then you can start thinking in other issues. Because if you work happy, you will your enterprise will be more productive, your family will be more happy, everybody is going to happy, the community. And so we have to invest in the people so they can I mean, as I said before, life is too short. So we, in this short life, we really have to try to enjoy it and not come to suffer to this world.
Spiro, please.
Yes, Dr. Bernardo. Thank you for your presentation. I get a question. I don't know if you are aware, but as you said that happiness is the main goal that leads any individual in life. And in your diagram, it is just the value. But value is related with wealth. I believe that we have to plot in that diagram the health of the business, which is direct related with the happiness. So we have discussed here in the global network about the concept of quality and the concept of well-being that has to be measured in the economy and in the business.
Yes.
So I don't know how we can shift from value to quality, from wealth to health, to lead the business. What do you think about it?
Yes, when I was running for president in Chile, we were thinking creating a well-being ministry, so we can take care of these issues that you are talking about. And the diagram, is a general diagram, but that's why I showed it to everybody, because we need to adjust it, because we all see from different perspective our own realities. But the most important thing is that we have to understand that the world changed from the pandemic, before the pandemic and after the pandemic, and this was done before the pandemic. So I need to review this, but since we spoke this on Monday with Dr. Renuka, I didn't have time to review, and change some, first to make it in English, and second, to change some of the issues that you are talking about.
So it's going to be in the future.
It's soon, very soon.
Okay.
But it's
Thank you.
included in the social business school, all the issues that you are talking and everybody is discussing. We are aware of those issues. Just that,
So,
I think when we started with this in the year 2015, nobody really listened to us because they were concerned making money. And they didn't care about, the environment. They didn't care the Amazon. They didn't care. They just want to, make money, profits. Make rich, take the money. Here in Chile, we have 10 families that they own the country, and we have to keep fighting all the time against those families. Today, we have, imagine, we have one of the larger than the California, fire, and we cannot extinguish this, and the people are suffering. Towns have been erased by the fire, so it's really concerning. We just came back yesterday from the southern part of Chile, which is at this time it's always raining. We're in summer, but in Chile for many years it was always raining at this time, but today there's no rain. So these people they profit. They put large plantations of forestry, and it is so dry that with a little light of fire, everything goes on fire. It's a disaster. I mean, if you can see right now in a Google map, the images from the satellite, you will see how much smoke is coming, from Chile. It's
But
terrible.
if I can change some ideas about that, the problem is that the profit law of the business, it doesn't resist anymore, and we have to shift from profit, maximum profit to maximum quality.
Yes,
So
well, that's
this is the right philosophy of leadership, and we have to change from value to quality and maximum quality. It's not anymore the maximum profit. Maximum profit, it's a wrong philosophy, and that's why we have so many problems, I think, and we have to change this philosophy.
Yes, I agree with you.
Profit is the wrong direction.
I agree with you. I have a big issue here, and in Chile, I think it's the only country in which there's no you cannot study economics. You study a science which is called in commercial engineers. They mixed business administration and economics. So they are a mixture, and they really don't understand economics. They don't really understand business, and the only thing they were taught, it was the Chicago Boys theory, in which they think in maximizing profits, minimum investment, and reduction of cost. And exactly what you are saying is what we need to change.
Okay, thank you. We will stop here, but we can continue this debate. I know Spiro is very passionate about this. And of course, it is most needed thing as well, but we'll have to find a way to move it forward. So thank you very much. I will invite, and there is just one question from Anna Ventura, that will this overall information be available for us? So if you can, if you wish to send anything to the people, you can send me an email, and then I can distribute it. All right.
Perfect.
Okay, I was, good afternoon for everybody. I was just wondering if all of these addresses and professions and professional information will be available after the meeting that we have on the chat.
Oh, Anna, okay, yes, you will get it. You will get it. We always share the PDF and any other information related to it, and the chat, and also the transcript. We share all these three things with people.
Okay.
All right, and the recording as well.
Yes, okay.
All right, thank you very much. And so now I will invite, yes, sorry.
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening and taking your time. I know everybody's busy and concerned with your own projects, and but I am available to help anybody that needs anything, always I've been trying to help people.
Can I just ask a very quick question, Dr.
Sure.
Bernard? What it is that quite a few years ago, I was running casinos, and what I found was when people at a certain time were getting tired, and so when they were working 5 days a week, they were getting tired on the last day, and we was losing money. What I found was when I reduced it to 4 days a week and still paid them the same, we got much better results. Do you think that that is probably a better solution to the economics as a whole, as country economics, to work 4 days as opposed to 5?
I agree completely, because we as I think it was Mr. Spiro, in which he said we need to change the mentality, or Martin Rose, someone mentioned that we have to start thinking in the well-being of the society. And if we do not improve the human capital in terms of salaries, because we can do that, it's possible to do it.
That's right.
What happens is that with the corruption of the politicians, they take so much money that can be distributed to the people, that we cannot, do what you are saying. Of course, people will be more productive. It has been shown scientifically that people are more productive, if you work 4 days and you can enjoy with your family the rest of the other days.
It's a shame for that corruption. Corruption is just doing it in, isn't it? That's too much, the corruption. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, well,
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me invite now Laura to take the floor. Please, Laura. And
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Renuka. Really a pleasure. I'm impressed by the network that you put together. It's great. I really appreciated the conversation, the presentation of Dr. Bernardo, and it resonates to what I'm doing, and I tell you why. So my talk, my presentation, my conversation will be basically a prosecution, or a second step of what Dr. Bernardo said. So we talked. I noted a few keywords that resonates particularly to me: happiness of people, and give back. And somebody mentioned converting value to quality. So all these elements, and of course the founding element, improve human capital. So let me explain to you what I'm doing. I'm incorporated a company in 2016 called the TQ, with the naive ambition to improve humans' trust across societies, between individuals. And very recently, beginning last year, I became interested in the problem of truth. Because the problem, the big issue today is that we cannot have trust without truth. And without trust, we cannot have collaboration. And without collaboration, for certain, we will not have a planet to live in very shortly. So that's all of which altogether made me shifting to focus on the problem of truth. And today we have 2 projects ongoing. One is called the Greener Truth Conference. And the second one, which is a fundamental project, is QT, basically a library of the truth, of question and answers. So what we think, what you, Dr. Bernardo, said is that we definitely need to improve human capital. And it's all about knowledge. But knowledge, first of all, needs to be widespread and possibly accessible to everyone. needed to be synthetic, because we have no time, because everything changes very quickly, because what you know today may be obsolete tomorrow. So we needed to be fast, we needed to be widespread, we needed to be for all. That's the only way to start capitalizing on people. So how to accelerate education, how to accelerate the access to information that can change the world tomorrow. So our solution is a library of truth accessible to everyone, which is derived from question and answers, because that's the easiest way to learn. So my hope coming here, because you are all involved and passionate about environmental or social projects, is to identify potential partners. Could be researchers, could be hubs, could be people involved and organization involved in social governance or environmental solutions, who want to come on board and provide their piece of information or research and feed the library in the form of question and answers. If Dr. Renuka allows me to make the thing more fun, I can show you a demo of how a piece of information can become digestible for everyone and possibly change the way we self-educate or allow everyone to access information. Can I?
Yes, please, yes.
So, you are probably aware about ChatGPT.
We lost the image.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to give, well, okay. Let me stop sharing here. Should be able to come here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well,
if you can see the green button, share screen.
Yeah, I can, but
then can you not share?
Yeah, the point
yeah,
is
it is coming up. Yes, we
okay.
can see.
So, okay, you see my screen with the funny code.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this is a piece of research taken from a paper. So imagine you can copy paste any piece of content and place it in a tool here in particular. Right, so, and ask it to the tool to create question and answers. And then I tell you why it is important to work on question and answers. So yes, here I'm asking to generate 10 specific questions. I run the AI, and from that piece of research, which we obviously research is always good, but it is sadly understandable not by everyone. So which means that piece of important knowledge that needed to be spread across the society in order for people to grow competence, they remain blocked into the bubble of the academic world. So here are question and answers, very easily presented, that can feed a map of knowledge, of little dots that create an enormous database of information that anyone can search and trust, because derived from peer-to-peer verified information, and consequently from the validation of people collaborating on the platform. So what I want to say is that there is a way to democratize knowledge and the access to knowledge. There is a way that can bring together interdisciplinary group of people. It's just a matter of changing, as you also said, the approach to education, to participation, and to contribution. So, yeah, that's what we are doing. And the second thing, well, I invite everyone who has a project. We run a Green Truth Conference, meaning a monthly meeting in a 3D environment where any innovators, green innovators or researcher can come in and broadcast their solutions. And probably this will facilitate the conversation cross-border. Conversations like this are absolutely fantastic, and they can really be the force of ecosystem of ecosystems. So that's what we are doing. Dr. Renuka, thank you very much for the time that you provided me with. I'm happy to answer to any question, and yes, know what you are up to.
Thank you very much, Laura. Thank you. We already have one comment. What it is like, how it is different between ChatGPT, like between you and
yeah, ChatGPT is a fantastic tool that gives you answers, while this is a tool that gives you questions. So we move from the principle that if you have 1 hour and you should spend 55 minutes in asking the right question, not in finding the right answer. So the answer is just is limited to your question. But if you provide to somebody typing climate change multiple questions from different perspectives, you emphasize and you expand his knowledge instead of restricting it to his specific questions. This is the first, but the second and probably very important element is that we don't pick the information from the web, but from research and case studies and information that is validated and verified. So we tend to be much more limited, if you want, in terms of source. We look only at verified information because that's where the truth can be found. So less generic, more specific, if you want.
Spiro has a question here, so I will allow him to speak. Spiro, you are on mute. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, I did. Very interesting, this method of, it's like Socrates' philosophy. The dialogue is the base of knowledge, and by discussing and asking questions, we trying to find the truth. I don't know, but I think that there are some questions that we can answer. There are some questions that we can answer. For example, how do you measure quality of the business? I get one question, let's say, like this.
Again,
or happiness, or which is direct correlated. And
so again, the ambition is not to give answers, but to give you questions and the related answers. What is the difference? That we don't want to provide the world with a pre-formatted truth. We want everyone to take their informed decisions based on a set of information and question and answers that are out there. So instead of you ask, how do I measure, I don't know, whatever, you will have popping up the same question or different questions related to that and their answers, and you will take your decisions. So the platform will not give you a unique answer. It will give you the available answers. if you want, is a source provider.
Okay, so how do you know that it is the true answer?
No, the point is not that I know that is the true answer. I know that those are the available answers and they are verified. It is you reading those answers that you can take your decisions. So we are not the truth. The platform doesn't aim to be the truth, but to provide verified information. So if you wanted to take a decision about, I don't know, whatever, you try to find in the web or wherever a set of informations, right? So the point is that mainly those information can be biased, can be unverified, can be not credible or simply not updated. So you need information that are reliable. That is what the platform will do, will provide elements that placed together can help you to create your personal, yes, your truth. Because, you know, me, you, Bernardo, and whoever is here, if we look at the same thing, same issue, we will come up with a different truth and a different perspective. Why? Because we are network selves. We are our notions, our experience, and our feelings. And the way we put together the three things make us looking at the same piece of information in a different way. So Edison, 100 years ago, he would have, he was not believed, right? And then suddenly the world agreed with him. So what changed? The number of notions that were available to people for taking an informed decision about the same thing that Edison was proposing 100 years ago. So what I want to say is that there is, whenever you take a decision, you put together the information that you have at a single time. And based on that, and who you are and what is your experience, you take your decision. But if you cannot rely on reliable information, that is your problem. That is our problem today when we take decisions or we don't take decisions about sustainability processes because we are not enough informed. Bernardo just said, you know, young people today, they are taught commercial engineering, and that is what they have learned. That is how they think. The problem, as somebody else stated, is all about providing and feed with more information and broader information that is reliable, everyone. That is how we can invest in a future generation that, you know, becomes or learn to be sustainable as a normal, because they have the information.
Yeah, okay, because we get very big issue here that we have discussed here with Dr. Anuka and our global network community, which is very, very important, that we have a very big problem that what science believe about quality is misleading. It's not true. And basically we teach and lead the people in the wrong direction. We lead and teach
you
the
know,
people
again,
in the wrong direction. We have put like let's say the concept of wealth is leading concept. Actually, as a human being, we are led by the concept of health, not by the concept of wealth. But the concept of wealth, that's what they teach at the economy. They say the business, money, wealth, profit,
And you come to my point, Spiro. The problem is that if young people only digest a certain information, they will always think based on the information they have.
Yeah, but they provide the wrong information.
Yes, but we need to.
The high education doesn't know what is the legal concept.
Yeah,
So,
the higher education, yes, has part of the responsibility, but the other part of the responsibility is us as a society to create systems that
system is going to create by science, by education.
No,
not
wait,
by the individual.
wait, no,
not by the
today
individual.
No, I don't agree with that, in the sense that, yes, education is what it is, but we today have the opportunity to create parallel systems for informing people with the reliable information. So
we
the
can
education,
create this.
It's just a matter, bad information spread much faster than good information. This is the sad news. So
true.
the only way to solve the issue is to spread as much or much more good information so that we can mitigate the influence of bad information. The educational system has its part of responsibility. However, today, what we know today, people of our ages, because we are not here, there are not 20s, I say, what you got at school and what you know today, in the middle is all what you learned on your own, through experience, through work, through knowledge, or through conversations like this. So if we put out more information that goes in different directions, well, the chances are that that information can be found.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we are
agreed.
doing in this discussion, actually, and we'll get it out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Spiro, for debating here. But yes, Laura, I think, where the communication is going, like many years ago, like we believed that the earth was flat, and it took several years to believe that the earth was round or sphere. Likewise, whatever is fed into the system, I think to flush it out, it will take equally or maybe more than that time. The time it has taken into diffusing, I think the time to flush it out will take more time. So you're right that your tool is a tool to help this way, to disperse the information in different directions, and people can think about it. Now here there are few logistic question from Ayushi, that is this tool free?
So what tool, sorry, because what I just demonstrated to you at the moment is something that currently at the present stage is used by AOTs, Angels of Truth, a community of people that take research and use the tool free for converting the system in question and answers. Obviously, we will need funding, but the tool, the Qt platform, so the platform for browsing, for searching information, will always be free. It is, well, it will be a foundation. At the moment, the process is ongoing in the UK. And yes, fundamentally, the idea is knowledge is implemented by everyone, and as such should be open to everyone. We have proposition from, for example, entities working on indigenous knowledge. They want to use the platform for collecting information locally and distributed globally. I think that we should look at this as a collaboration tool to make information globally and open to interaction of multiple parties.
Okay, thank you. And anyone who is interested in knowing more, you can get in touch with Laura. So Laura, if you wish to put down the email address, then that would be good. All right, thank you very much. And now I will invite our third speaker, Damani Thomas, and he is here. Welcome, Damani Thomas.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So, I'm wondering if everyone can see me.
Like we can't hear you clearly now. Initially, we could hear you.
All right, there. You can hear me better now?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. I'm not sure if I'm a member as yet, but I was introduced to doctor here recently since week. So I'm glad to be here, and I hope we can all work together in some way. So I am the founder of the Carbon Neutral Initiative, and I will be sharing screen right now.
So while he's sharing, Damani, you are already a member now.
Oh, that's great. Right, so can everyone see my screen as it?
Yes, we can.
All right, so thanks again for having me. As stated, I'm Damani Thomas. I'm the founder and CEO of the Carbon Neutral Initiative, and I am based in Jamaica, not the US as yet. So the Carbon Neutral Initiative is a Jamaica-born clean tech company found to help countries all over the world reach Sustainable Development Goal 7. So our goal is to really help decarbonize refineries to aid for a net zero future for net zero energy. Now, I said our vision is to help countries use local renewable resources to meet energy requirements at much lower prices, so they may gather funds for renewable energy projects such as solar and so on. So since the Russian invasion on Ukraine, the price of fuel has skyrocketed, and this has forced many countries to fall in disarray due to energy insecurity. Countries like Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, and so on. And even the superpowers like the US and the EU has fallen into disarray over oil prices. Now, what has happened since OPEC decided to do an oil cut of 2 million barrels per year, 2 million barrels per day, that has threatened to keep the energy crisis to get even worse. Now, the Carbon Neutral Initiative is developing a more sustainable biofuel called the Defossilized 30 biofuel, or D30 biofuel, to help refineries decarbonize operations and help countries lower fossil fuel dependency. Now, our business model is using the licensing revenue model to multiple refineries to help them honor climate commitments. So what we do is that we work with refineries to offer them to produce a cleaner fuel that improves their operational efficiency, production, lower their production costs, lower their carbon footprint, and so on.
You made the point empty completely, or you remove something. So.
Excuse me. Yeah, so the D30 fuel is a semi-synthetic biofuel more sustainable than ethanol blended fuels, or more known as E10, to help developing countries become more energy secure. Now, this solution uses existing infrastructure and resources already produced by refineries, so there is no need for new infrastructure, and it can be implemented very quickly and easily because it can be used in existing cars without changes to the engine. And it's also a very versatile solution, being applicable to not only biogasoline in cars, but also biodiesel and most recently sustainable bioaviation fuels. More on that later. Now, this solution has a bunch of benefits. We benefit the supply chain from start to finish. Now, as for our environmental benefit, we remove up to 315,000 tons of carbon off the road, with lower carbon footprint by up to 315,000 tons, which is the equivalent of taking off 150,000 cars off the road here in Jamaica. As for our economic benefits, we can accumulate up to $10.7 million in carbon credits, and that will be also true for other countries that we will be working with in the future. And as for a social benefit, this is a very energy dense fuel, so it improves fuel efficiency. So that means less frequent refueling, which means a lower cost for the end user, which is the regular person that goes to the service station to buy gasoline for their vehicle. So it's not only less polluting, but it's also cheaper for all parties involved. Now, why will refineries be willing to work with us? Well, besides the fact that there is a lot of attention on cleaner energy now, ethanol blended fuels has been around for over 30 years, and it has a lot of disadvantages, such as being a 33% lower energy density than normal fuel, which raises the question, is it better for the environment if they have to use more? So, and research showed that it also has a low carbon reduction. It's also not compatible with many vehicles because, well, ethanol is corrosive. It's not compatible with over 15% of vehicles all over the world. And it incurs the extra transport costs, which to transport the ethanol or the ethane is one of the largest operational costs for refineries. And that keep fuel prices high also. So the defossilized 30 biofuel, on the other hand, has a 30% high energy density. And it reduced carbon footprint by up to 3 times more. And it's compatible with more vehicles, being that it's not corrosive. And for that very same reason, it eliminates the extra transport costs because it can be transported through existing gas pipelines. Now, this is our key milestone and roadmap. I've been working on this solution from I was about 15 years old. However, the Carbon Neutral Initiative has been around for about 2 years now. We originally started as a company that was doing another solution. However, since the energy crisis occurred, we pivoted and more to focus on this problem. Now, that solution was called the carbon attack filter. I will touch on it just a little bit. And it is a biodegradable carbon capture filter designed for passenger cars. So as you would notice, the Carbon Neutral Initiative has always been about decarbonizing transport. Now, what this solution does is that is trap all major greenhouse gases from exhaust before it gets into the air. And after capture, the used cartridge can be used as organic fertilizer for forestry or agriculture. Now, how it works is that it's easily retrofitted to the back of the car, the gas pipeline, and we stop the exhaust from there. And after it's used up, we reuse, collect the waste, and we add it to soil to rehabilitate land. Now, we pivoted from that solution to focus on the defossilized 30 biofuel because of the very large demand of energy and the disarray that the world is in right now. So we intend to reach these areas through our partnerships. We have a partnership with the European Technology Chamber. I'm currently on the Energy Alliance Board and Climate Alliance Board and SDG Alliance Board, and also the Founders Institute, which will be helping us to establish ourselves in the greater Americas, while the European Technology Chamber will help us in Europe. We also have our advisory board, a group of super connectors that is also all around the world, which is setting up the framework for us as we internationalize. Now, for this year, we plan to do our pilot projects with Petrojam. Petrojam is the largest refinery here in Jamaica, and we have established a partnership and we are working along to get this solution incorporated here in Jamaica as soon as possible. Now, over the years, as we dominate our market, we will be getting into more research and development and testing, looking more into our biodiesel and bioaviation fuel aspects. We have already made contact with the International Air Transport Association, and they have shown interest in our bioaviation fuel. More on that now. So our bioaviation fuel is another product that came from the defossilized 30 formula. Now, how we came to create this solution is that we first made contact with the International Air Transport Association through our advisor, Nicholas Coates. He put us on to that organization, and they said that if we're able to make an aviation fuel, then they would be willing to work with us. And after a couple of months of doing some research and so on, we were able to come up with a concept that already shows promise to be more, well, easier to produce and less energy intensive than the current process for ethanol to jet aviation fuel creation process. Now, the D30 upgrading bioaviation fuel process is a new method for sustainable aviation fuel creation, which shows promise. Now, the problem with the current solution is that the current solution uses way too much energy, and it increased capital costs up to 60%. So that is why sustainable aviation fuel has not been really established as much, because it's much more expensive than fossil aviation fuels. Now, our solution uses the D30 process to upgrade the process and improve the ethanol to jet approach by increasing the variability in terms of length and branching qualities of the alcohols to fit a desired fuel profile downstream. What that means is that our process uses larger olefins, and that's so we create aviation fuel much quicker and with much less energy. Now, what we do is why the solution is viable is that we take advantage of the low fermentation cost and availability of ethanol, and the D30 process converts that ethanol to primarily butanol. And butanol, well, though butanol is primarily what we convert it to, it is one of the lightest alcohols produced. So we use much less energy in the oligomerization process. And this is a comparison of the two. As you can see over here, using ethanol, we get a larger yield, but over here using butanol, we get a larger oligomerization recycle ratio. What that means is that using ethanol to create aviation fuel is much cheaper when it comes to feedstock, but it gets more expensive when it comes to the process. So, and the reverse is true for butanol. The feedstock is expensive, but the process is much cheaper. So we take advantage of those two advantages and mend them together. So that is about it for the projects that me and my team do at Carbon Neutral. Thanks to our affiliated partners, European Technology Chamber, the Founders Institute, and the Council for Inclusive Capitalism. Are there any questions?
Thank you very much. You can stop sharing, and if anyone have question, please ask. Yes, Dr. Ule Ogubondai wants to ask you a question.
Sure, go ahead. Thank you. Probably is on mute, but can't hear him.
No, he's not on mute. I think he's just trying to speak. Hello. We can't hear you. Okay. Does anyone have question?
Yep. Damani, thank you, Ranuka. Damani, I've dealt with Esso and Shell for many years, and they've just made an extraordinary amount of profit. Why aren't you talking to them to fund what you're talking about, which is a major improvement towards net zero?
Yes, so the issue with those things is that I'm not very connected as yet, being that I'm very young. I'm just now getting to those connections through my advisors and or partners. I have intentions to make contact with those companies soon. I was put forward to Shell, but I haven't gotten a response as yet. I'm also working with a person from ExxonMobil in the UK, and he's on our board helping us really develop things and get through so we can work with them better in the future.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay.
Okay, I have a question, Dr. Renuka. Can I please go ahead?
Yes, please.
Fantastic presentation. Well done.
Thank you.
I have about 4 questions for you, but let me divide it into 2 parts. So here goes the first 2 questions. So you spoke about you decarbonizing your refineries. So I'd like to understand what are you bringing in a new feedstock that is not primarily from crude oil, or are you using a new feedstock that is like biomass, so then you're going to use the existing refinery structure. That's one. Number 2 is you spoke about biodiesel. So biofuels. So one of the of course the primarily popular problem with biofuels and biodiesel is sustainability. In the long run, would it be sustainable? I mean, in terms of what the amount, can it really compete with the demand? This has been an age-long problem. Personally, I've produced biodiesel from 3 different biomass feedstock. So the problems that we keep facing is sustainability in the long run. Can it really compete directly with the petrol, the product, refined product of crude oil, which is fossil? So can you please answer these 2 questions and fall back to
Yes.
the
So so to answer your first question, you ask if there is any different feedstock. There isn't. We use the very same feedstock as they use to make ethanol blended fuels. So we use ethanol and convert it to higher and more stable alcohols. And from there, we blend with much less gasoline. So if you are familiar with E10, are you familiar with E10?
Yes, I do. It's the second in the homologous series.
Yes. So E10 is 10% ethanol, 90% petrol. The defossilized 30 is a minimum of 30% defossilized 30 material that's converted ethanol, and much less petrol with a minimum of 70%. So we use the very same feedstock. So when it comes to sustainability, there are new technologies to extract ethanol, most recently known as lignocellulosic, and we can use basically any form of biomass to convert that to ethanol. So that is the most sustainable form of technology there that can answer that question. We don't need to use food to make ethanol anymore. We can use literally dry leaves through the lignocellulosic method.
Wow, 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 wow. I must applaud or laud your invention. This will really be good for, yeah, combating
So and in the long run, our goal
yeah.
is to reach net zero. And even though biofuel is less polluting, it is still polluting. So what our goal is to invent this technology, is to serve as a bridge to net zero, because that's the biggest problem right now, is that countries are unable to make that swift change from fossil fuels to renewables just like that. It's not scalable, it's not viable. And most countries, especially developing countries like where I'm from, it's impossible for them to fund a renewable energy project at scale, plus pay for the energy costs for that year. So many countries spend billions on fossil fuels a year. So they don't have it in their budget to make a scalable renewable energy plant. So that is where the D30 come in. We use the very same infrastructure that is already there to create a less polluting fuel that is cheaper, so they can rework their budgets and focus more into pulling funds together for a renewable energy plant. And we will still stay relevant, of course, because it's very difficult to electrify planes. And that is where our main market will be, that we will be going into aviation fuels mainly after more electrifications take place. So there will still be a need for defossilized semi-synthetic fuels. So we will be very sustainable in our endeavors. And our goal is to really help the world reach Vision 2030 with where SDG 7 is concerned.
Thank you very much, Thomas, and thank you. What is your name? Who asked the question?
This is Johnson Jayola, Dr. Renuka.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ernest has the question.
Sorry?
What is it?
I think I said so that Ernest has a question. I'm pronouncing the name correctly.
Johnson.
Johnson is my name.
Yes. All right.
I think
So
someone
thank you
has a
very
question.
much.
I was saying that someone has their hand up, so I'm wondering if they had a question.
No. I think that was from before. So we don't have anyone's hand up now. So thank you, Thomas, for explaining everything.
Thank you.
So yeah, brilliant presentation. And now I will just share a few slides which we are here. Okay.
Dr. Renuka, I'm raising my hand.
All right, sorry, we didn't see you. Wait a second.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I think
Okay.
I
Just a direct reaction. So this is addressed to all of us, and I think to our group, because I was just since last year I had a short discussion with Dr. Visser in London in the Cambridge Sustainability Department.
And sorry, Ernesto, to stop you. We can't see you also. There you are.
Yeah. Okay. I would just like to share with you the latest concept, or probably an initiative or advocacy coming from Dr. Visser of London in Cambridge. And one of the discussions, actually, I review his latest book way back late last year about thriving, THRIVING. And the gist or the core of the discussion is that for us I think it's time to move beyond sustainability because we're focusing, discussing, researching, elaborating on the word sustainability, which is just about enduring while doing less to our society, the environment, and the global economy. But he is pushing for a thriving economy, a thriving which has a not net negative, but net positive impact, which by definition is a business approach in which a company puts back more into the society, the environment, and the global economy than what it takes out. Meaning, if we harvest one tree to make a paper, we should plant 10 more so that the net positive will be achieved for our children and grandchildren. I mean, we just don't plan to replace, but or to sustain it as what we discovered, or I mean, for example, in a certain place, but to thrive more, to give more than just to maintain it. Just a thought for all of us in discussing sustainability, and the word is thriving. And I think it might not capture everything, but it's a good start for discussion in this kind of academic and very fruitful discussion, just like here in Global Sustainability Future. Thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you very much, Ernesto. This is very important what you have shared, because I also think, we have an overshoot day. Just in 1 year, like not even half year, before half year, finish our whatever we have to use in a 1 year. So our overshoot day definitely shows that we are in negative side. And so when we are doing this, like if we want to be sustainable, we have to be on a positive side. So it is very, this overshoot day is a objective part of it to understand. And we have to increase the span of overshoot day every year so that we go from like 1 to 1. Thank you for sharing that. Very interesting.
Again, something here, Dr. Arnuka, if I may.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Dr. Wiesen talks about thriving, and he wrote the book about that. And this term is used, it's known, but I think that sustainability has more sense than thriving. So probably he has to come in our concept, in the concept of sustainability. Because sustainability is qualitative concept, is correlated direct with quality concept and well-being concept, general welfare concept. So I believe that it has to stand and to be very careful about that, that we'll have discussion. But I am for the sustainability. It's a much more basic concept related with quality. I mean, sustainability is correlated with quality, not with thriving. Even in the Constitution of the United States, in the preamble, right in the middle of the Constitution, it says to promote the general welfare. So sustainability, sustainable welfare, sustainable quality, sustainable well-being is sustainable business. So I think that it stands this concept very well, and we have to we already have defined this concept mathematically as the ratio of change by time, and that's where we have to stand, I think. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Spiro, just to clarify that, Dr. Wayne Visser has been writing for more than 20 years about sustainability. And I think he reached the point wherein a newer concept, which might be, it's the word thriving, but I understand the concept as a concept per se. Don't be trapped in the word. Probably we didn't find a real word for it, but of course, sustainability is a very nice word to play with and everything, and it's self-explanatory. But this thriving thing concept, when you define it, when you put back more than less into the society, the environment, and ecosystem, then we are achieving or preserving, not only preserving or sustaining, but investing more for the future. That's how I appreciate it. So whether you're targeting the quality of life, well-being for the future, this is the guarantee. So it's just a concept. I just want to share it. And I know Dr. Wayne Visser because I studied, corresponded with him, discussed, and I'm one of the reviewer of Thriving, just for the information. And I found the book very encouraging. So if you're, I mean, would like to explore, get the copy of the book. It's a very
but that's what we understand with sustainability. We can't sustain if we don't get the same, at least like we give. Is a ratio. Is like efficiency, and so we have to have in the system of some concepts, and they have to match with each other. How do they relate it with quality, with well-being, with welfare, with change? All those concepts has to be in the system, and without the system, just as a concept in itself, they can't stand and can't understand. So we have to build a system about those concepts and to go forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Spiro.
Dr. Renuka, if I may comment, I'd suggest that Ernesto should invite the author of the book because I'm open-minded, you know, and this is a forum where I've learned so much lately since I joined. So I'd propose that Ernesto should reach out to you and invite the author of this book to come and really tell us, while he has, after so many years, written and believed in the gospel of sustainability, but he now feels that much attention, energy, strength should be put into thriving. He should come on and let's hear him. And we have our questions. We'll throw it at him. Then he will. Who knows? So that's my suggestion.
Hello, Dr. Renuka.
Yes, please.
I just wanted to add a bit to what Dr. Ernesto and Sepuro have said. My take from the Strive book, I've looked at it a bit. My take would be, for my addition, is to say that the book on thriving should be like a total outcome of what sustainability is, because sustainability covers everything, but the striving bit should be the intended outcome of the overall achievement of sustainability criteria. So, but given the word sustainability is a total thing that we are aiming at, but then how to measure that would be what he has proposed in his Thriving book. This is my take on that aspect.
I completely agree. I completely agree with everyone. Of course, like sustainability is first the main concept, and before thriving or accelerating. We need to come to a point where we are able to accelerate. So everything, I think it is.
Sorry, doctor, for cutting you. We have to understand. Is it striving or thriving? Is it thriving? TH. I had Dr. Ernesto say TH. Is it TH thriving? Or the last speaker said
Ernesto,
striving.
can
I
you?
could hear striving. Please, you need
Ernesto,
to
can you write
clarify.
down? Ernesto, can you write down in the chat so that there is no confusion?
Okay, I'll send the link to the review of the book.
No, just write down
chat.
one word which we are debating. Please write down only one word which we are debating. So we have a clear, yes, thriving, yes, THRIVING.
Good, thank you.
Okay, anyway, I think we had a very, very good discussion. Lot of, concepts are coming up and lot of debate, and it is very interesting to have everyone who is interested here in this debate. So thank you very much for having this. And now I will just go through few slides, 1 or 2 slides only left. So we heard Dr. Bernardo, and then we had Laura, and then we had Damini and Thomas. And then here I'm proposing a GSG, that is greenhouse gas course for Gsfn. But how we are doing this is specially to gather some fund and also to disseminate in a way we want. So we have come up with a unique model of delivering this course. And that is like, I will be organizing, and there are two people in delivery team, Laida Rahul and Dr. Gnanendra Kumar. They both are very, very expert in GSG, of course, along with me. And then we have 6 modules. For each module will be of 45 minutes, and it will run between April 1 and 6. It will be a certified course. Like if you attend all 6 modules, then you will get a certification. Now we have a very different structure for fee. Like fee will be for all the modules, as that is total course. It will, for high income countries, it will be £9. For medium income countries, it will be £5. And for students and unemployed and early careers and low income countries, I forgot to mention that, it will be £0, but with a condition. These people, students, unemployed, or early careers, or low income, medium, they have to partner or find a sponsor of high income or any institute or anything who would pay for them. So for example, one person wants to take this course and he or she is from high income country, then they would pay £9, but they will be allowed to bring someone who is either student or unemployed or early career or low medium income country. So what that would do, it will disperse the cost, and we will be able to fund the people who are really cannot fund themselves. And you can especially those who want to have a sponsor, they can ask anyone within our network, or they can write me, or they can approach any business, charity, NGO, anything for a short amount of money, and they can apply for this course. If businesses and universities or NGOs want their employees to get this course, then we have special prize for them, like 20 people. If they are having 20 people, then if they pay £20, then 20 people can attend. And if they have only 1 or 2, then maybe we will give 8 pounds. So this is the how we want to work, like, and I hope that would be interesting for everyone. So spread this word. We will soon be sharing the flyer and other things as we go along, because someone is helping us to create certificate. Someone is helping us to create a paying system, because we don't have anything like that. And therefore, it is in process, and we will soon share all the links with a flyer. And thank you very much. I will stop here. Do you have any questions? No, absolutely